enshrined now 25 years. Dan Fouts, good to see you. This is your 25th year of enshrinement.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Well, it's such an honor, and it's gone by so fast. But class of '93 is a pretty good one. Larry Little, Bill Walsh, Chuck Noll, and Walter Payton, and myself. And
Wow.
unfortunately, it's just Larry and myself are left. We miss Bill and Chuck and Walter. But just coming out of that room is an amazing experience. With all the Hall of Famers and a huge group of Hall of Famers this year.
Yeah, I know we have about 6 minutes to chat right now, so I want to get right in. What is it like in that room for us mere mortals trying to figure out what's going on?
Well, there's a lot of emotion, number one. A lot of guys expressing their gratitude, talking to the new class, telling them what to expect. Also, telling them to keep their speeches shorter because there's so many guys. But
how does that get communicated to them?
Very sternly, but it's also ignored. But the thing about the room is the greatest players of all time are in there. I mean, to sit there and see Paul Hornung, to see Jerry Kramer finally make the Hall of Fame. Joe Namath is over there. Dick Butkus is over here. Willie Lanier. It is just mind-blowing at times.
That's right. Paul Hornung, he's been enshrined for 32 years along with Ken Houston. They went in together in 1986. And so just what is it like for you, I guess, to look around and see all those folks who are also called Hall of Famers? I mean, what is that like?
Well, we all consider it a fraternity, a team, a family. Mm-hmm. And so many of us come back every year. And so we get caught up on our families. We get caught up on, what are you doing now? How can we help you here? What's going on? So you look forward to seeing the guys every year. You look forward to complaining about how the game is played now and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I grew up a tremendous football fan. And my father was the voice of the 49ers for 20-odd years. I was a ball boy for, John Brody on the sidelines. So I got to see Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers up close and to see Johnny U and to see Bart Starr and all those great Packer teams. So this is really just a continuation of a dream.
Dan Fouts here on the Rich Eisen Show. In the couple minutes I have with you, what did you think of the helmet rules first as we saw last night in the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, I think when you see it out in the open, it's an obvious call. The thing that's concerning to a lot of guys is in the trenches. How's it going to be called on 3rd and goal? I mean, you got to lead with your helmet at times. The running back is trying to get into the end zone, so it'll be interesting to follow, no question. And having the job as an analyst, yes, it can be very frustrating at times because the rules are now so subjective.
Now, don't you think they nailed the catch rule, though, down pat, don't you think? Do you think you're going to be up there in the booth on CBS saying what's a catch, not a catch this year?
I hope so. I think that's the goal, is that it becomes more clear to us and obviously to the fans and to the players themselves. But, that's what happened when you bring in instant replay. Now you become it's more subjective, and now you become talking about lawyers and putting rules in the rule book in language that is not football language.
What do you Bobby Beathard, I give you the floor on him getting into the Hall of Fame.
A great selection there. I mean, what he has done in his career building franchises. He was the first NFL contact I had when I was at the University of Oregon. I was a junior, and he was there looking at Bobby Moore, a.k.a. Ahmad Rashad. And I happened to have a good game that day, and so he sat down with me and asked me a few questions. And he was in his Hawaiian shirt. He was with the Dolphins at the time. I think he even had flip-flops on, and it was raining in Eugene. So I go way back with Bobby Beathard, and I'm so proud that he's in the Hall of Fame.
And now Don Coryell's got to be next, right?
Well, he has to be next. I mean, nobody changed the game more than Don Coryell. Both sides of the ball, the way the game's played today, the proliferation of the passing game, and also defense is having to adjust with nickel defensive backs and dime backs now. So Coryell definitely deserves it.
And shortly before you sat down, Charlie Joyner knocked on the window.
Well, he wanted me to make sure I mentioned him, Mr. Joyner. He's my senior, so I have to show him the proper respect.
He is your senior. I'm seeing that. 22 years in the Hall of Fame for him. 18 years he played. 239 games.
Nobody had played more as a wide receiver. Nobody had caught more passes for more yardage than Charlie Joyner when he retired. He definitely is a Hall of Famer.
Well, you are too, sir. I appreciate you stopping in here and taking some time coming out of the Nitschke luncheon there.
It's always a pleasure to be with the Rich.
Great to usually be the same to you. Dan Fouts here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.